The meeting is now being recorded. I'd like to call the regular monthly meeting of the Salem Board of Education to order at 6:04. Would people please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight, we're going to start our meeting off with two action items. I'd like to entertain a motion that upon recommendation of the superintendent, Trevor LeBlanc, who holds a professional certification in childhood education, grades 1 through 6, is hereby granted tenure in the elementary education tenure area effective on September 1st, 2023. So moved. Motion by Heidi.
Second.
Second by Pia.
So I asked just to have a minute in between before the vote to just say something about Mr. LeBlanc and Mrs. Riddler. So Mr. LeBlanc, you're up first. Usually I prepare things, so I'm winging it, but I really wanted it to be from the heart because I think we're very fortunate to have found you and have you come to the district. For those of you who do not know Mr. LeBlanc, he is a 5th grade teacher and he is always very calm, cool, and collected. He's a great role model for students. But I also think the kids must think he's one of the coolest teachers. And I just love to go in and I've seen his math and his science lessons and he really does some great things. They grow mold, they've got chicks, they do all kinds of cool things in there. And I really appreciate what he brings to the kids. So we're happy to be granting you tenure this evening. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Well, we didn't vote yet.
Wait a minute. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand.
Yeah.
Motion carried. All right. Entertain a motion that upon recommendation of the superintendent, Mandy Riddler, who holds a permanent certification in pre-K through 6 area, is hereby granted tenure in the elementary education tenure area effective on September 1st, 2023.
So moved.
Motion by Dan.
Second.
Second by Andrea.
So Mrs. Riddler is currently teaching 2nd grade and every time I go into her room, it's just like a ray of sunshine. It's just, there's so much excitement. She's in there, doing jumping jacks and all the kids. They love her and she is such a student-centered approach. When I think of her, I think of sunshine and rainbows and just, really just what 2nd graders need as they're starting to have a little more rigor in their education, but just need some fun and some inspiration. And again, we are so lucky to have Mrs. Riddler and I'm so happy to be recommending you for tenure tonight.
All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0.
You thought the jumping jacks were
Take
secret.
Yes.
The tenure.
We could tap cake.
We will pause we're going to resume the meeting and we've resumed and we're live. At this point in time, I'd like to open up the meeting to the public for public comment. If anybody has any questions or concerns to share with the board, if people would just come to the podium if they wish to speak, it's easier for us to record your comments that way. All right, then we do have another opportunity at the end of the meeting. All right, moving on to our reports and presentations, superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone. Just a few updates this evening. We have received our initial audit back from Needham, and I have a meeting scheduled for first week of June with them to go over the initial audit report. I've reviewed it. That looks very achievable. So we will go through that, and we have arranged for 2 safety meetings to close out the year, which will be primarily focused on introducing the safety committee to the new group, Needham, and our representative Malcolm Tupelo, who will be helping co-chair the meetings with me, and also to be working on our safety plan. So as you know, our safety plan is due no later than October. We require a public hearing after the hearing period after the presentation of the plan. So we will be working on fine tuning that. There is a new remote instruction plan that is required by New York State. So we will be including that as well. So we hope to get some feedback from the committee, and Needham will assist us in making sure that we have a sound and compliant plan. And my plan is either in June or July, we'll look at what our board agenda looks like when we present that and have our hearing. I also would like Needham to be here for that, and so that the board could meet Mike Needham and his representatives that we'll be working with, so that you can hear more about overall their service and what they'll be providing us, and how they'll help us achieve some success and work on our audit results. You know, the work that we have targeted to be done through that. Math curriculum selection. So I had mentioned at some point or two during the year that we have been working on a search on the K-6 math curriculum, and possibly extending that into 7, depending on what that program was that is selected. Sounds like the committee unanimously has selected Into Math, which is a companion to the company HMH. We call it HMH out in Mifflin. I think Harcourt is the other H, but I'm not 100% sure. But we're already using their Into Reading program that was presented to the board last year. We're completing our first year of work on the Into Reading, and they have selected Into Math. They really like some of the features are very similar, would be easy for teachers to use and students to use some of the online things because the dashboards are the same. But I don't want to steal all their thunder, so I'm hoping to get a few of the representatives of that group to come before the board and just share some of the highlights and recommend that program so the board could officially recognize and approve that as our math curriculum K-6 for the near future. Oh, the other thing I just wanted to make note of is that I have indicated, as I indicated in the past, we will be purchasing that curriculum through some of the remaining ARP funds, as well as some of the first year professional development. So we'll probably have 2 years of professional development. There will be a lot of intensive work and support during the first year. The second year is just some follow-up, some fine tuning, and really getting some assistance and just really helping us make the best use of the resources that they have. Strategic planning, just want to thank the board and thank everyone who participated in the strategic planning process. I think it was very productive. We have received the kind of a framework from our consultant, Kevin McGowan. I'm in the process of reviewing that with the administrators, and we're putting together a little bit of a timeline, and hope in June just to briefly present that to the board and then talk about how we would like to roll that out to the public in the buildings for future years. Salem Historical Preservation Society, we met with them on Monday. Todd Vogel, who works with our architect Mosaic, and we presented to them the plans to connect the archway and really reviewed the remaining project items with them. They're mostly interested in what, projects affect the front of the building facing East Broadway. I think, it sounded like they were very appreciative. Overall, I think it was a positive, very positive meeting and discussion. I don't anticipate, issues. I think there were some questions and suggestions to the architect about maybe some fine tuning of some of the details, which we'll talk about. They did want to meet together. We put in a formal application for approval. But I do think, that they appreciated the time to go there and review with them. One of the things is they had, one or two of the members had said that now that they see the drawings, that they feel much better about it. As most people have indicated, once they've seen the drawings and the plans. So I'll keep you posted on that. I did, talk to them a little bit about the lights. There, as the board knows, there was some, lack of communication, early on, I think during the, project, and some lights were put in the front, lighting up the building that were not, shared with that group. And, they still, although they think that the building looks great lit up, just really the lights themselves and the appearance they feel just really aren't historically in line with the building. So, when I left and Todd and I were walking back over, we met at the courthouse. Todd offered a couple suggestions of how we might be able to kind of camouflage those. And he had offered the idea of that we could incorporate into this portion of the project. We do have a little play in the money. We didn't go quite up to the 4.1 million. It would not be a large expense. He offered that we could have the landscape architects draw something up to maybe put some small shrubbery or something around to camouflage the fixtures themselves. And I wanted to get the board's input. If you would support that, I would reach out to Judy Flagg and the group and let them know that that could be an option and run that by them. I feel like that would be a really great solution. Kind of really to their concerns that.
They really are just stark little pieces of metal out there. And I
Yeah,
think
they do.
if you, some greenery around them would definitely improve the overall look of the front.
And since we do have this opportunity that the architects will be working on we have to work on some landscaping on the front where the connector will be. It really is not gonna be, it'll be just really an additional cost. It'll be small additional cost for the drawings and just some shrubs.
Why they're looking at that, what about the post that holds the septic tank of water? It's very like, that's true.
Could be covered a little better.
Post that holds, yeah, that's a great idea. Okay, so I will reach out to them and let them know that we're going to look at that. The other thing that I did just kind of give them a heads up about, so that they could start thinking about, is that, and I think I've mentioned this before, I really believe that we should also take this opportunity to think about some signage on the corner of East Broadway and Warren, maybe someplace over by where that, where the first driveway is, just to kind of direct visitors to the primary building, elementary, where the entrances are, where the high school is, the field. And so we had a brief discussion about that. They're very open to that. They're not a big fan of putting stuff right on the building, but they're very open to signs that aren't. There was some discussion, I guess they are trying to have some consistency with the signage in the town, the immediate town area, but they just starting to have discussions about that. So I said, maybe think along the lines of where they might be going with that. this would be the time to have those conversations, and Todd could come up with some drawings. So again, I don't anticipate that would be a big expense. It should be able to be covered by some of those, we had a little buffer zone and those funds, and, would like to at least take a look at that if the board is okay with it. I think we might as well, if we could work it into the project.
Yeah, see what they come up with.
Yeah, so we have entrances that aren't obvious from the street, how we are going to get into the building. So I think having some signage for people who are new to the school or unsure of which direction.
Visiting, right. We had a situation the other day where the youth football they do signups down in Cambridge at the school, they do signups up here. And people were very confused about where to go, which entrance to come in. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But also we're gonna work on having maybe an easel sign or two, that's a little white board type of an easel sign that you can put, 80s, yeah. Board meeting with an arrow down this way. I think we'll look at a couple little small purchases like that, but
We used to have signs that they put out in the hallway before board meetings. Okay.
Right.
They were
That
just,
was all-
yeah.
Yeah, that purple post. And
Yeah, it was just a purple, that
Oh,
so it said board meeting this way.
I don't know where
so-
those went.
well, they basically were, he was very creative because he took some other existing sign
Right.
holders and just kind of
Yeah, yeah,
put
yeah.
something on
But
it,
they
so.
looked okay.
Yeah, but I think if we have one or two that have a whiteboard
Change it.
that, depending on what's going on, we can direct people. I just think we need to look at our signing. Also, depending on once we're looking at where our bus traffic's going to be, our fields, when can you use the tennis courts, things like the track, we should have some signs up about trespassing. That the park and the campus closes at dusk to the public. Some of those things just for safety and,
Liability.
clarity also,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
we want it to be open to the public and to the taxpayers, but we also want to be clear about safety.
Yeah, a lot of other schools have the signs about the
Right.
campus closing at dusk, so,
Right, just a few around, not
right.
many, but we really have no signage, and I know it's been over the past few years, there's been a lot of discussions, but we haven't moved on that.
Yeah, no, agreed.
And then, just, an update, our new website build is in progress. We've had, a lot of our, training, we've had some brief little training meetings, and, they're working on the build. And I think it's moving along nicely. We're working on some data, uploading that needs to occur for, some of the communication pieces and features that will go along with the app. So I do anticipate, July or August that we'll be able to see at least the new website in progress, and then they'll work with us on, kind of a marketing campaign so that our parents and families and the community will know and understand how to navigate and what the different features are. So we'll work on getting that scheduled for communication, as well as training for our faculty and staff in September on how to use the teacher-parent network. And finally, two quick things. Congratulations to Ann Dunnigan. I don't know if you saw in the on board, the NISBA newsletter. You haven't read it? Yeah. So NISBA is the New York State School Boards Association, and they have a newsletter, that a little newspaper they send out, and she is recognized in Area 7. So we're Area 7. And she has been recognized among some other board members in Area 7 for achieving level 2 of leadership and development training. So you accrue points for the different training that you do and the different workshops and conferences. And so you've achieved level 2. So we're excited to see you moving up and. Yeah. Yeah. We all have some more cake. Centerpiece home, so you get 2 pieces of cake tonight. And also another great night to have cake. A special thank you to Mrs. Andrea Harrington. This is her last board meeting, so she, as some know, but not everyone may know, that she filled a seat that expires tonight on the vote night. And so this is officially Andrea's last meeting, and just want to thank you for your service to the board and your commitment to our students and the community, and we wish you well.
Thanks.
So that's all I have. Alexis, do you have anything tonight?
Well, it's getting closer to graduation. It's the 23rd. And I'm really excited. I also think this might be the last meeting that I have during the school year. So I just want to say thank you guys for, considering me being on the part of the board. It's been very informational. It also taught me a lot about how to publicly speak too, because a lot of the time I sit there in the class and I'm just like, what the heck, what do I say? It also has opened my eyes to different problems that our school has, because I feel like a lot of students don't really know what's going on. And it's just nice to have an insight on the true problems that our school is facing, and that it's not just this surface level problem, it's a deeper problem. And it's just nice to see our community every month come together and fight for what they believe in. And I'm just a strong believer that everyone should fight for what they're passionate about. So it was cool to see that.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, moving on. Gina, do we have any amendments to the agenda? We do. We have 2 addendums, actually. One, actually was able to be put up public yesterday. That's items 714 and 715. And then today we have late add-ons. And that would be 716 building use request and 717 an addendum to employment agreement. Those were not proposed. Thank you. We didn't have any objections to those?
No.
Thank you. Moving on to the consent agenda, does anybody wish to have an item removed from the agenda? Entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented. Motion by Heidi,
Second.
by Peter. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Carried 5-0. The consent agenda had the minutes, treasurer's report, internal claim audit, revision of accounts, CSE report, surplus report. So moving on to our committees. And I know, the finance, you've been in preparation
Yeah.
for the budget.
That's what our focus at this point.
And the policy, we did have a productive meeting. We did, you'll see, we have the second read for the non-resident students, and we have some first reads that were recommended to us from the curriculum committee. And we began a conversation about continuing work on the public expression now that we have kind of figured out how we can do some of the sharing electronically of the meeting. We have a better idea of what we can write. Every time we do it, we'll be able to deliver. So, and as far as public expression too, so we'll be working on that. May not see that until the fall, because summertime is not necessarily a gung-ho time, right? But we're doing that. And really covered under the safety committee.
Yes, yes. We'll have 2 meetings in June.
All right, then moving on to our additional action items. All right, entertain a motion to accept the following resignation. Julie Lurvey as teacher aide effective May 13th, 2023. So moved.
Second.
Motion by Andrea, second by Heidi. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0. Entertain a motion to approve the following recommendation. Recommended that the Board of Education discontinue the services of the following individuals due to the abolishment of positions in their tenure area effective August 31st, 2023, as they are determined to be least senior teachers in their respective tenure areas. Where multiple names are listed, the first name is the least senior with the last name on the list possessing the greatest seniority within the individuals listed. The following individuals will be placed on the preferred eligible list for 7 years after the position has been abolished. Jacqueline Nolan, elementary education. Stacia Bonanno, elementary education. Tiffany Sleesman, elementary education. Danny Polino, remedial reading. Molly Byron, ELA 7 through 12. Colleen Fish, business education.
So moved.
Motion by Peter,
Second.
second by Dan. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0. Entertain a motion that upon the recommendation of the superintendent, Danielle Felino, who is pending initial certification in students with disabilities all grades, who has previously attained tenure in the area of remedial reading and has an APPR rating of highly effective or effective in her final year, is hereby appointed to the position of special education teacher in the tenure area for special education for a probationary period commencing on September 1st, 2023, and anticipated to end in August 31st, 2026. Salary for the 23-24 school year will be starting at step 18. In order to be eligible for tenure, individuals receiving a probationary appointment as a classroom teacher must receive annual composite or overall APPR ratings of highly effective or effective in at least 3 of the 4 preceding years. Motion by Andrea,
Second.
second by Heidi. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0. If there's no objections in the next action, I'd like to combine items, names 1 through 12. And then Heidi, would you do the last one on here? Entertain a motion to approve the following extended school year appointments effective July 1. The summer programs run from July 3rd through August 11th, 2023. Stacy Rich, occupational therapist. Bridget Thomas, speech. Rebecca Quinn, specialized math teacher. Danny Polino, specialized reading teacher. Erin Underwood, 1211 teacher. Amy Ruggles, 1211 teacher aide. Polly Keys, 1211 teacher aide. Katie Quack, 611 teacher. April Andrews, 611 teacher aide. Alicia Leclerc, 611 teacher aide. Shannon Kozlowski, 611 teacher aide. And Deb Myers as a 611 teacher aide and a substitute teacher aide. So moved. Motion by Heidi,
Second.
second by Peter. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0.
All right, entertain a motion to appoint Erin Rochelle to 611 teacher aide.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor? Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you. Moving on, I entertain a motion to approve the first approval of graduate hours for the fall 2022 and spring 23 classes for Daryl Hollaback.
So moved.
Motion by Dan,
Second.
second by Peter. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0. Entertain a motion to adopt the following resolution. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Salem Central School District hereby authorizes the funding of the district-approved reserves with the excess 4% from unassigned fund balance at the June 30th, 2023. The allocation of such fund balance will be determined subsequent to June 30th, 2023, and prior to setting the tax levy.
So moved.
Second.
Heidi? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0. Entertain a motion to approve the budget transfers for April as presented. Motion by Andrea, second by Heidi. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0. If there's no objection, I'd like to waive the second reading and we'll go to adoption for the next policy. Entertain a motion to waive the second reading and adopt policy number 7132, non-resident students.
So moved.
Motion by Peter, second by Dan. Any further conversation or concerns? Okay. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0. Entertain a motion to approve the first readings of the following policies. Policy 3410, Code of Conduct. Policy 8110, Curriculum Development, Resources, and Evaluation. Policy 8320, Textbooks, Library Materials, and Other Instructional Materials. Policy 8330, Objection to Instructional Materials and Controversial Issues. And policy instructional materials for non-public school students. So moved.
Second.
By Peter. The code of conduct doesn't change the actual document. It just cleans up some of the language as we move forward with that document. All in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0. Entertain a motion to approve the Cambridge-Salem Youth Football to hold registrations for the 23-24 season in room 434 on May 8th, 6 to 8. So moved. Second. Andrea, second by Heidi. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. Entertain a motion to approve the building use request from Lunch, Learn, and Play to use our facilities on July 20th and 21st for summer camp. They're asking for the lunchroom, but not the kitchen, both gyms, classroom, playground, fields, track from 11 to 5:30. This is as they set up for the al fresco dinner.
Gotcha. So moved.
Second by Dan, second by Heidi. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. 5-0. Entertain a motion to approve the building use request for 3 days for summer field hockey camp on July 10th, 11th, and 12th, 2023. So moved, church attached.
Second.
By Andrea, second by Peter. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0. Entertain, entertain a motion to approve the following sports mergers between Salem Central School and Cambridge Central School effective for the 2023-2024 school year. Boys wrestling, it's an existing merger renewal with the Cambridge Central School effective for next school year. And girls wrestling, a new merger request with Cambridge Central School effective for next school year.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Andrea. We had a very successful year with the girls.
Yes, yeah, they were able to train together, but because we had missed the merger deadline, they could not compete together as a team. They were trained together, they went to meets, but they competed separately. But it would definitely be to everyone's advantage.
Now, does this include modified now too? Because it didn't last time, but I don't remember seeing it.
Modified wrestling for the
Yeah,
girls or for the
girls.
boys?
For the boys, it always has, but the girls didn't do modified last year.
Right.
So
I'll have to see what the application,
okay,
um,
I wasn't sure and I just wanted to.
I would ask the board, this assumption here is that it would be for all levels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the boys are for all,
Right.
has been for all levels.
It is for all levels. Okay.
I should have put that on. The
No, that's
application
okay. I
does
just
say
knew
all.
that we didn't do modified last year, so I wanted to make sure that
Right.
that was what we were.
Right.
Okay.
I think also they weren't sure about the interest. They were feeling it out, but we had a great
Great.
For sure. Yeah.
interest
Yeah.
and very successful. It was impressive, just really exciting.
With 3 weeks to get it planned.
I know. I know, and we had, couple girls go to state, so it's exciting.
All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0. Entertain a motion to approve the agreement between the town of Salem and the Salem Central School District regarding transportation for the lunch, learn, and play program for the summer of 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Dan. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0. Entertain a motion to set the rate of pay for the election inspectors at minimum wage, New York State minimum wage effective for the 22-23 school year.
So moved.
Motion by Peter,
Second.
second by Dan. Any questions or concerns? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0. The next item, I'd like to postpone until after executive session. And then we move from there on to our agenda. I screwed it up. Okay. Thank you. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Thank you. I didn't look it up. Entertain a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement between the Salem Central School District and the Washington Academy Teachers Association for the retirement incentive for those who do not have the ability to retire with full benefits from the New York State Teacher Retirement System. Motion by Andrea,
Second.
second by Dan. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0. Entertain a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement between Salem Central School District and the Washington Academy Teachers Association for retirement incentive for those who do have the ability to retire with full benefits from the New York State Teacher Retirement System.
So moved.
Peter,
Second.
second by Dan. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0. Entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Cameron Bramer as an election inspector for the 23-24 May 16th vote. Motion by Heidi,
Second.
second by Peter. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0.
An hour, everyone.
We have an additional building use request. Entertain a motion to approve the Salem Cambridge Wrestling Club to hold their wrestling camp at the school on July 17th through 20th from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Insurance is pending. So moved. Motion by Andrea,
Second.
second by Peter. All those in favor, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carried 5-0. And the addendum to the appointment agreement, I'd like to postpone until after executive session. And that we will have action pending. Okay. So we have some dates to remember. It looks like we've got a busy time. Oh, okay. Opportunity for the board to be heard. I'm trying to follow up. So, Peter, I don't know if you want to give a little update on the policy workshop that you and I listened to, or?
Oh, yeah, there was a, virtual workshop on, separation of church and state and as it applies to schools. The rights of teachers and students to express their religious beliefs was quite informative and is based on some very recent court cases, that really do change the landscape quite a bit. The idea of that clear line drawn between church and state has been very much dulled, I guess would be the right word for it. And certainly not wanting to deprive anyone of their religious beliefs or the expression of those beliefs. The court cases have really come down quite clearly on the side of the allowance of being able to express those beliefs as long as you're not pushing those beliefs on others, which I think is a legitimate distinction. But it's something that I think that boards, administrators, staff faculty are going to have to be educated on. One example was that it's perfectly fine to have the Holy Bible sitting on the corner of your desk, but it's not perfectly fine to open it and read it to your students in class. Whereas I remember when I was sitting in a classroom, I would never have had the Holy Bible sitting on the corner of my desk. But the times are changing, and there's some policies that we're gonna need to look at that may be impacted by that, and we're gonna need to update. Ann and I discussed that a little bit. But that's for the future, and that's to look forward.
We're drawing a much finer line between speech for private reasons and speech for public
Right.
reasons.
Yeah.
So it's not a global ban on certain speech.
Yeah.
So they really are dividing,
Yeah.
they're drawing a real line between what's allowed and not. Does anybody else have any other trainings or anything to add? And then we have our dates to remember.
We need another.
Thank you again for reminding me. Thank you.
One question I had while, you're having your sip. Do we want to, schedule a finance committee meeting for June, or do you want to wait until September? So I know Andrea won't be on, so we'll just have Heidi. So what would be the proper?
I mean, Andrea
protocol
could
for
be on.
that?
So just so you know,
She could come as a private
but
citizen.
our auditor's coming in June 7th, and that'll just be a preliminary where he's only looking at federal cafeteria and extracurricular. That's just, he gets started on those because they're easy to wrap up. We won't be delving into the general budget until late June, probably July, before because we gotta reconcile everything before it comes in. So as far as finance committee and these other things, I'm sure to discuss, but just to give you an idea of where we'll be audit wise. So.
And, we probably will. So we have a meeting this Friday and next Friday to, really finish our forecast 5 training and make, so they've got all of our financial data synced up. But really looking at, it'll probably take us a few weeks to finish and complete our long-term,
Look at.
multi-year plan of our, rolling 4-year plan financially that we're going to have. So, most likely, we probably wouldn't really present that until we have to discuss with the board. Do you want us to present that in July or wait until September? So that would be something. So since we'd be missing a member, we would just hold off. I just wanted, my calendar is really getting booked for June. There are a lot of end of the year events, not only at the school, in the community that require my.
Next time.
Right, do we want to have one in June or just wait until September at this point? Andrea will,
kind of talks about waiting until September.
I think so.
Okay.
Kind of
unless something comes up.
And I
we'll-
tell them that the auditor's coming in.
Okay.
And then kind of make we'll have to have it final first.
I think we're all a little bit overloaded with numbers right now.
And we may.
There's a lot of, there's not many days that are.
Yeah.
So what, that, we should take a look at that.
Busy month.
And also I did, as I flipped the page over, I realized that, opportunity for the board to be heard is there's a recommended calendar. And there are some dates that
So that would be 22nd or the 23rd.
22nd would be better for me. If available both days.
Okay, so the 22nd at 6 o'clock. Should be brief, or do you want to do 5? No, I think it's fine. Or would you rather? Do this? It's, right, and most likely it's really just to certify the vote. I think that's probably, right, and if we need 3. Probably. Yeah, if for some reason something comes up. So,
5 or 6.
that's next to you,
6 would probably be easier.
6 o'clock. So tentatively, we'll have Monday, 6, and it's really, yeah, should be relatively quick. I thought we were doing the interview for the other special ed. We have a very strong candidate coming for second interview with me. I thought it was tomorrow, it's next Wednesday. So that will be, I didn't know if we would have that appointment, but it's after. I have my Wednesdays mixed up, so should be pretty quick. What's going on in June? Days are coming. At this point in time, I'd like to open it to the public. If there is anybody who wishes to share any questions or concerns with the board, if they just come up to the podium.
I'll be very quick. Dr. Quinn, high school special ed teacher. I am here to remind all of you guys and to welcome you to Thursday is Service Day, 7 through 12. So you will see, I'm inviting you guys without. If you see a sea of yellow shirts in the area, stop by, say hello. Bring your gardening gloves if you want to help anybody. We'll be anywhere between Hebron and the Georgie, all around town. The kids are looking forward to it. The adults are looking forward to it. So
It's a great day.
Put that little plug in there.
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
Thank you. Any additional comments or concerns? And then need a motion to executive session for the discussions involving proposed pending and current litigation, collective negotiations, and discussion of the medical financial credit or employment history of a particular person.
Second. It's your last shot.
All those in favor, please say. We do anticipate action. I'm going to turn. If you want to bring this. Yeah.